Today, here on KELK Radio, today's Elko Live program, we're featuring our guests, as we love to do, to talk about your public lands. They're your public lands, my public land. They belong to all of us, and there are so many wonderful, diverse things to do and special events and activities. And among our favorite people from the Bureau of Land Management, we are featuring Amanda Halsey today. She's brought so many friends, Amanda. This room is just full of folks. Amanda's from California Trail Interpretive Center, and you're filling up the month of April, that is for sure.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here talking about our April events. We have so much going on, and we seem to have come up with a very cool theme for April. All eyes on April skies. So are you ready to hear about all the fun things we've got going on?
Okay, wait, I'll strap in. All right, okay, because we're headed for the skies for
yes,
this one.
We're about to take off. Okay, so starting us off tomorrow, Macy from our Nevada Outdoor Schools affiliates, we are going to be doing Planets in Pajamas. So I'm really excited. That's going to be so fun. You are going to come out in your pajamas, bring jackets, bring a blanket if you'd like. We're going to stare at the stars, the constellations, planets. We have really fantastic telescopes to see all these wonderful things with. And fear not, if it is cloudy, we have backup plans. So come on out for that. We've got a lot of fun things to do tomorrow in our pajamas. That starts at 8 p.m. and it'll go for a couple of hours. We'll play it by ear, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be off, but I think I'm just going to be coming out for that too.
And that's the kind of place you want to work, that you want to go back when they're doing fun stuff.
Planets, can't stay away.
Pajamas,
yes,
telescopes, telescope pajama party. Cool. Thank you, Amanda.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we're just going to keep it rolling. So on Sunday, we are going to prepare everybody for the solar eclipse that's happening on Monday. So the Trail Center is closed on Monday. So on Sunday, we're going to be out there talking about our favorite star, the sun, and we are going to be handing out solar eclipse safe glasses to everybody. So it's going to be on a first come, first serve basis, one per person. These glasses are good for 3 years after the manufacture date on them. And Ranger Glenn wanted me to let everybody know that they are only safe to be looking at the sun for 3 minutes through. So come on out and learn a little bit more about the eclipse and how to prepare for that. If you cannot make it out for Solar Sunday and you still want to see the eclipse on Monday, you can go to timeanddate.com and it'll give you all the information about where and when you can see that in Elko. So Time and Date is the spot to go if you can't come out to the Trail Center for some hand-guided expertise on that. So after that Solar Sunday, we're going to take a little break from the skies, but we'll be back. After that, we are going to be doing Ancient Communication. That'll be on April 13th at 1 p.m. like most of our programs. Glenn is going to be talking about ancient ways of communication, and people can come out and try their hand at making their very own petroglyphs, which is a very fun craft. And then on Sunday, April 14th, we will have our wonderful volunteers out once again on our beautiful Singer sewing machine. No electricity required, just like in the 1800s. They will be making barnyard buddies. So I believe you can pick from an oxen, a pig, or a dog to make a fun little 1800s toy on our classic Singer sewing machine. And then I am going to be putting a new twist on my butter churning program. So on April 20th, come on out and hang out with me. I'm going to be making we're going to be churning butter just like the pioneers, but I'm putting a twist on it where we're doing compound butter. So I'll have 3 recipes available. We're either going to be doing honey butter, I want to say garlic herb, and then a chipotle. So you guys get to choose which flavor you want to make, and I'll send you home with that wonderful butter that you can put on your favorite snacks. That's on April 20th. And then, like I said, we're going to get back to the skies at the end of the month. So on April 27th at 7:30 p.m., Ranger Evie's going to be putting on Constellation Exploration. So that is going to be so much fun. She knows lots of amazing stories about the stars and the constellations and how they got their names and everything like that. So that is definitely a do not miss. Again, if the skies are cloudy, we do have backup plans, of course. We will never let you down out at the California Trail Center. So that is it for our programs. But I do want to remind everybody that the Nevada Wild Art Exhibit exhibit will be going on just for the rest of this month. So April's the last month that you can get out there and check out those 14 Nevada artists in our South Fork room and their artwork. And then, of course, Trail Days, our big, wonderful, beautiful summer event, will be the very first 2 days of June, June 1st and June 2nd, and we'll talk more about that as it gets closer.
Oh, Amanda, thank you so much. So much care and consideration goes into this, and planning, and all the various professionals. Everybody who presents in these programs is really enthusiastic about what they do.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. They put a lot of effort into these things. So we just, we want to be out there. We want to be providing good things for this community because this community is awesome.
Well, thanks, Amanda. You sure get folks excited, and not just visitors. People who live here love going to the California Trail Interpretive Center. You are open Fridays. Are you open summer hours now?
Next month we will be going to summer hours. So
Okay.
Still for now we're open Wednesday through Sunday.
Wednesday through Sunday, but see, that's perfect because there's no school on Friday.
Yes.
Yes. So gear up at California Trail Interpretive Center. It is just 8 miles west of Elko. You take the Hunter exit off I-80. You're there in just a flash. Can you imagine being in a covered wagon trying to get there? Come on.
We can show you exactly what that would be like.
And how long it would take. Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're so spoiled. So do come out and enjoy. Again, beginning with Planets in Pajamas. Moms and dads, take your little ones and enjoy some telescope fun at California Trail Interpretive Center. That is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And then find all this fun online at californiatrailcenter.org, right?
Yes, absolutely. Or if you're more of a Facebook person, we have a very active Facebook page. You can find all of our events there as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Amanda, so much. We're going to switch over and have you introduce a brand new person to the Bureau of Land Management. And that's Cheryl.
Yes, we're so excited to have Cheryl on our team. Yes, Cheryl has come out. She is our new lead park ranger. And hey, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me today, you guys.
Oh, Cheryl, it's wonderful to meet you. You said you're making it back to the West, and we're happy about that. So you've been on some adventures with the BLM, right?
Absolutely. I've actually been spending the last 2 years with the National Park Service working as a seasonal park ranger in various parks across the country. And so it's been a really exciting adventure, but I'm so happy to have landed here in Elko.
Wow, so your career is like one long vacation, kind of, huh?
People think it is.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of work.
I do actually work sometimes, but I have a lot of fun while I'm working, so it works out.
So, Cheryl, you're going to be, what will you be doing here in Elko? You're finding out, as a supervisory park ranger, correct? Okay.
Yes. I'm really excited to be a part of all these wonderful programs that Amanda just described. I'm really excited to get out in the community and get more people out to the Trail Center because, like you said, it's an incredible place to bring your family, learn, make crafts, all of those cool things. And so I'm just really excited to get out in the community and teach them about the California Trail and all of the natural beauty around here, too.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Not only this terrific history that the community is so proud to help showcase, but these gorgeous natural surroundings. And what I just learned about Cheryl, too, is that she moved to Elko with your family, and you had never been here before.
No, I had not been here. So it was a bit of a leap of faith, but I am convinced I made the right choice. I'm so excited to be here. The community has just embraced us. And it's just a wonderful place to be. And right at the right time, the snow's starting to melt. I can't wait to get up into the Ruby Mountains. It's just the perfect time for me to land here.
Oh, Cheryl, thanks. What a great opportunity to get to meet you. Welcome again to Elko. I know we're all really excited about this. And Cheryl, again, the supervisory park ranger, Cheryl Miller, and now to the Elko BLM district. So, and you came from Florida, right? Most recently.
Absolutely. I was in Florida for the winter. I'm putting on the air quotes there because it was like 85 degrees when I left. It was so rough. Feel sorry for me. Yeah. But no, I'm just so glad to be back in the West and have snow and mountains and all my wonderful Western people. Just glad to be back among my people.
Oh, welcome, Cheryl. And again, we'll be talking to you more. We do this once a month. It's the BLM's Public Lands radio show here on KELK. So with that, we have yet another new person, and we're going to switch the microphone over while Kevin gets situated here. We'll have you pull that up to you. And I got to meet Kevin Sakamoto as he was coming in the door and for the first time. And you've been here a little longer than Cheryl, though, so you've had some time to get settled in.
Yeah, I've been here since the beginning of the year, so I'm also from a warmer place, Los Angeles, so this is a little bit of a change for me, just having to actually have a winter, like Cheryl mentioned.
And you came with your family and moved to Elko, and now you're working as a range tech, is that right?
Yeah, I work as a range tech in the weeds program.
And we're going to talk a little bit about weeds because it is that time of year where the ground is soft to get out and eradicate those weeds. But I just wanted to make sure people got to know you a little bit. You love being in nature, according to your bio, right?
Most definitely, yeah. Hiking's a big thing for me. It's funny, I always tell people, being from LA, they're like, oh, you're a city boy. I say, look at the map, the city's surrounded by national forests, so if you Google it, you can check out all the wonderful nature that we have down there.
And you used to work at Disneyland, do I understand that right? Yeah.
Well, I didn't used to work at Disneyland. That would have been a great job.
Oh, okay.
In my bio, I was talking about wildfires.
Oh, I see what okay. I was somehow imagining that you were sitting in your office working away at Disneyland and then suddenly smoke came in the window and you said, I'm out of here.
Oh, no, I was actually at Disneyland when that happened, but it was for pleasure, not for work.
Okay. But that leads us to you have a BS in wildfire science, correct?
Yes, I just completed my bachelor's in wildfire science. Now I'm actually at University of Idaho for environmental science. So people like to say I have a career as a student.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the love of learning. And Clint Mothershead is in studio. He'll be coming in after you. And so you and Clint can talk wildfire and planning and all the amazing technology that now goes into helping us forecast what kind of fire season we might have.
Definitely.
Yeah. So part of, wow. And then I just saw Jamaica. I see Chalice, Idaho and Jamaica in here. So cool. Now, these two connect in what way?
Well, I get around, I guess. I've spent last year in Chalice with the BLM. So what I did there was riparian monitoring. So I got to basically splash in creeks all year, try not to slip and fall. That was a very interesting job. So weeds is a little different. Thankfully, I'm spending time on the ground instead of in the water. But yeah, I also I like to travel every year for my birthday. So it happened to be Jamaica this year. My birthday's in November, so I was like, hey, I need to go somewhere warm.
Well, that is great. Always good to have a goal, and sounds like the birthday trip is a new tradition. Man, that's like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Very cool. Well, Kevin Sakamoto is the new range tech for the Bureau of Land Management here in Elko. And so we want to help you to, describe for people just how important it is that we start looking out for the types of noxious weeds. People might be out there planting some landscape, that kind of thing. There's a lot we can do to prevent noxious materials from being introduced in the landscape, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Our program, I have to brag, we do the most acres treated out of all the state combined, so we know what we're talking about. But yeah, noxious weeds, they're a big problem in Nevada, anywhere in the West, because not only are they, degrading the land, but also they contribute to more wildfire risk. So it's very important that, all the stakeholders need to do what they can to manage weeds.
Well, and there might be any number of weeds. I was looking over my shoulder literally for my phone because I thought, oh my gosh, I just had a friend from Western Hills, and she texted me and she said, oh, we're being invaded by, I think it's some sort of like a thistle or a knapweed. It's on the ground. Oh, he's nodding. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some of the noxious weeds in our area are lots of thistles that come from Europe and Asia, and they love the environment here, so they really take off. So that's a few of those species are the ones we work on hard to try and control on the public lands.
And so, Kevin, if she wants to know, who do I call or what should I do? Obviously, she's talking about private property, but she has a lot of public land surrounding her. So is there something the public can do to help recognize and maybe help to, control these weeds?
there's great resources out there. The UNR Extension has a really great website where they have pictures of all the noxious weeds, descriptions of them, and also treatment methods that work for those specific species. Because whether you're doing herbicides or hand pulling or mowing, different species of plants work differently, and so you need to tailor your treatment to that specific species.
All right, so you're going to be working cooperatively with our fire officials, because also knocking down these weeds, they're a fire hazard too when they get dried out.
Definitely, yeah. The weather late in the growing season here is very conducive to wildfires, and that, is just compounded by weed problems. So we partner very much with fire. Like, even after a fire comes through, one of our big goals is to knock down any potential weeds that could invade the area, and also reseed the area with native plants so that we can keep the landscape very healthy.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you, Kevin. We have Woad Warrior groups. I'm thinking of friends over at the Forest Service like Doug Clark, if you haven't met Doug yet, and just people that really want to work on this project. I think you'll find a lot of company of people who want to help eradicate these noxious weeds. So.
Yeah, definitely. We partner with the state, Department of Agriculture, Department of Wildlife, and the local Humboldt watershed weed management area. So we have a lot of partners that we work together to tackle the situation.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. Anything else you want folks to know about you or your work before we switch over to Clint? I know you'll be back. You are welcome on the radio show always.
Yeah, I have a lot to say, but we'll save that for another day.
Okay, you promise? Oh, I didn't mean to cut. Did it? Well, you have some more time. Clint's just sitting over. Would you want to talk about some specifics? Please do.
Yeah, let me just look at my notes here. Once again, I have to brag. We treat a lot of acres. Last year, we did 56,000 acres using herbicides, biological treatments, and mechanical treatments, which means, yes, we have a crew that hand pulls weeds. Not the funnest job, but sometimes it has to be done.
It's good exercise, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of hiking. My knees definitely feel it, so... we also do, biological control, which is releasing insects that attack specific weeds, and also targeted grazing. So we do a little bit of that in our fire and our weeds program.
Ooh, what kind of bugs do we have out there eating things?
There's a lot, and that's another partnership through the state. They basically get the bugs and give them to us for specific species. So we try and do that a lot, but there's so many different bugs that work. They all work for one individual plant, so it's a lot. I could go on for hours, but I'll save you the time for that.
We'll come back. We'll do another show, because
next time we'll talk about bugs.
Yeah, I think that's really fascinating. I think that there was even a process of using bugs in leaching for gold mining, because a certain kind of bug was. Anyway, that's. Or I had a dream about that. I'm not sure. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think that's a true story. Kevin, come back and we will talk about how nature is used to combat nature. That's a really cool impact on the community. Well, with that, do you want to switch seats with Clint Mothershead?
Yeah.
All right, come on over, Clint. Clint's going to kind of bring up the program. Oh, we've gotten through all this really quickly, Clint. I didn't know I was going to leave you a whole 8 minutes or so to talk about fire. Yeah.
That's perfect.
But Clint, you grew up here, so you're sort of the opposite of a lot of folks. I mean, although Amanda, I think, is from here too, and so. But isn't it neat to meet all these new people and people that really appreciate being here in Elko? Clint?
Yeah, I can honestly say, just even growing up here, I didn't really meet many people that moved here from California or Florida. So to know that that's happening, that's a good sign for the community, and they're right, it is a great place. So
and it's neat that agency brings people together too. Yeah, a lot of professionals. Yes. So speaking of jobs, wildfire season, I think people they've been in training. I know there have been a couple of academies for high school students. I run into Maddie Hughes on occasion, and she's so enthusiastic about the work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on right now, and our fear is it's only going to get a lot busier this summer. Looking at forecasting models through various companies and entities, it's not looking good for us as far as long-term forecasting goes. We're getting precip now, but when we get these days, like I think it's this coming Wednesday or Thursday, it's going to be close to in the 70s. You can practically hear the grass growing, and our fear is it's going to dry out, which is what they have been forecasting. And when that happens, everything's going to grow and start going dormant, and it's looking like around the beginning of July, it could get really busy here through possibly October, or until we get a season-ending event, which would be typically it's just snow, cold. Once we hit September, the days start getting shorter, so we don't get those big, huge fire busts that linger for weeks. But it's still, the potential's there. But usually the nighttime humidity recovery in September is such that it gives firefighters a really good chance to take care of the fires and get them buttoned up.
In the meantime, there's a lot of hot days ahead, again, as you mentioned, that could dry out. So obviously, being a multiple use agency, there's a lot of activity, whether it's mining or ranching, a lot of resources, important wildlife habitat. But we also talk a lot about urban interface, because that's where the responsibility comes in for people to take care of property. We get nervous every year about this.
Yes, every year. And I say it all the time on your show, and I have to keep reiterating it just so people understand. We don't have a fire truck for everybody's driveway. We barely have a fire truck for everybody's community at this point. We're having some hiring issues as far as finding qualified people to fill some of our engine captain positions in the BLM. It's hard to compete with some of the other enterprises here. For that, you want to get them at the young age, when they're fit and can handle the daily rigmarole of the summer. You do fire. But a lot of those people, there's great opportunities in the mining industry, and it pays a lot better. So we're just having a hard time recruiting people here. But it's not just an Elko County problem. It's a nationwide problem. So that being said, we've got resource shortages across the board throughout the nation. We do our best as a whole and a collective to fill those holes when someplace in the U.S. isn't burning, but let's say Elko County is. We'll pull their resources over here and use them as long as we possibly can. So right now we have people back east working on prescribed fires. I think they're in Kentucky, Tennessee, something like that. We've got people there, and they're helping out. And then I think soon we'll send some people to South Dakota, and then in return this summer we're hoping to get some of their resources out here to help us fill some of our holes. So we don't have a fire truck for everybody's driveway. I can't stress enough that people have to do what they can to mow around their structures. I've been saying that for years. The way it's looking, we possibly could burn up to 500,000 acres. The potential's there anyway. Stranger things happen where we get the potential and nothing happens, but we have to prepare for the worst in the fire service.
And it's not a crystal ball. I mean, you actually have science. You have a lot of technology available to you, you're able to track these trends and to look at what's available to burn.
Yes, yeah, and it's looking like there's going to be a lot of grass this year. And speaking on invasives, cheatgrass is also an invasive species, not necessarily a weed, but it's our prime carrier of fire. It's a fine fuel. It'll be fully cured and ready to burn in June probably, and that usually earlier in the seasons, that's what initially the fire will start in, or a wildfire will start in, and then it moves into the sage. But once we hit July, it's looking like the sage and everything else could be pretty dry, and everything's going to go. It's going to be hard to catch these fires. Our district is 12 million acres, something like that. So it's hard to get fire trucks from Elko all the way out to the Owyhee Desert. It takes a while, and there's no shortcuts. So speaking of just people clearing out their homes, it's really just about mowing that grass down, limbing up your trees, getting any sagebrush that you don't necessarily need there. Before like the beginning of June is probably a good time to do it if you can. Right now, Elko County, you can get your burn permits to do some of your burning. I'm imagining, just looking at years past, we'll probably go into fire restrictions around mid-June. So when we go into fire restrictions, the open burning period is closed. So folks have, 3 months or so, 2 months, I guess, to take care of anything like that. But they need to mow, they need to trim, they need to pull wood piles away from their homes, clean out their gutters. And to find out more about how to harden your home, you can go to nevadafireinfo.org or Fire Adapted Nevada, and you can learn a lot of great stuff.
Clint Mothershead is Elko District Fire Mitigation and Education Specialist with the BLM. This month happens to be the Cleanup Green Up, so there'll be free landfill at the city landfill on April 20th on Saturday.
Yeah,
so
long line, but well worth it.
Yeah, definitely. And if you volunteer, you can do two things. You can help clean up around the community, and then you get a voucher, good for your own free landfill day at another time.
Yes,
So, yeah,
yes.
so that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah, good trade-off.
And while you were talking to Kevin about bugs and such, it did remind me of something that happened last year, and it was really an honest act. But somebody on the outskirts of Elko in the WUI, which is an acronym for Wildland Urban Interface, we've got a big Mormon cricket problem, and everything's starting to hatch right now. People get freaked out about them, and you can only squirt them with your hose for so much, or try to blow them away with your weed eater. Some people go to the next extreme with their, the propane fueled torches. Please do not do that. Please do not do that. You are going to probably start a wildfire. And the other thing is you're only making the problem worse for yourself when it comes to crickets, because they eat each other. And so now you've set up kind of a feeding ground for them.
Roasted crickets.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a barbecue.
So,
yes. Oh my God.
The best thing to do with them is just let them move on.
Okay.
And so, but outside of that, to wrap everything up, clear on your homes. Things are going to be pretty bad this summer the way it's looking. The monsoons aren't going to be very strong. The signaling's showing that they're not going to really track through eastern Nevada like they do on some years. We might get the fringe part of that, which means we will get dry lightning. So we're probably going to have our hands full enough with Mother Nature-related fires. We don't need the human element on top of that. So it's up to everybody collectively to try to do what you can to prevent fires. Tons of good information on Nevada Fire Info, livingwithfire.org, and searching for Fire Adapted Nevada. Upcoming events, a huge one on May 4th is the Fire in the Hole Cornhole Tournament. It is, the proceeds from that event will go to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation, which is a fantastic foundation. They do so much for people, for families that may have lost a loved one in the wildfire service while in duty. So, urge everybody to come out. It's going to be at the Bask Hall. There's flyers all around Elko. I think around noon is probably, or just look for the Fire in the Hole Cornhole Tournament. So there'll be raffle items and gifts and bragging rights, and it'll be a really good time. And then the next one after that, big weekend, would be the home show Mother's Day weekend. So
We'll see you there at all those things, right, Clint?
I'll be in
Pretty
Sacramento
much.
this year.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
we'll have
Okay.
some representation from
Of
one
course.
of our agencies.
Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot. You
It's all
need
right.
some personal time too. So, Clint, thank you so much. Definitely for all of the fire information. Again, Clint will be back on the show as long as the fire season allows, because this is such an important topic. I wanted to check in either with Pat or to see if you know about the Orange Bridge. Are you able to talk about that? So, did you want to jump on, Pat, or? Okay, we're going to have Amanda, because I do have, thank you, Clint Mothershead, and I want to have Amanda is going to wrap things up for us by reminding us of a bridge closure. That's an important access route for ranching as well as for recreation in the Marys River area, and that bridge is failing, and so they've had to completely shut it down, and people need to plan ahead because it's about a 50-mile inconvenience with that one bridge being out, so...
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So yes, I'm just getting this information too, but let me tell you guys, let me fill you in. So it looks like construction activity from beginning to end is expected to take approximately 4 weeks, so that's not too bad, with all activity being limited to a 6-week window that begins September 16th. So all construction will take place between September 16th and October 30th. So you guys need to make plans for that situation. This is the BLM Road 1096 for Orange Bridge replacement project.
All right, so maybe only a few people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The road is closed now.
Pat's here, but she's directing.
Yes. So the Wellsfield office, Elko District, Bureau of Land Management will be closing Orange Bridge to vehicle use beginning Monday, June 3rd through Friday, October.
It's closed now immediately.
Oh, immediately. Okay, excellent. Yes, immediately. So yeah, until October 30th, 2024. So yes, the Orange Bridge is in Marys River watershed in northern Elko County and is part of the BLM Road 1096.
Very good. Excellent.
Closed immediately.
Closed immediately. All right.
Okay, to be replaced.
Good. And it is. It's going to be
Excellent.
replaced, so it's not
Yes.
a permanent closure. Thank you, Amanda, for the news. You passed.
Of course.
You're
I'm
on the
in.
spot. Breaking news.
Hey, while I'm still on here, of
That's
course,
right.
as always, you guys, if you want to volunteer for the Trail Center, we are always accepting volunteers out there. Give us a call, come on out, message us on any platform. We're active.
Thank you so much, Amanda Halsey, California Trail Interpretive Center. Our guest today, we got to meet Cheryl Miller. She's the new Supervisory Park Ranger for the BLM. Kevin Sakamoto is the new Range Tech, and he gets to work with bugs. We'll find out more about that in a future program. Clint Mothershead, of course, our Wildland Fire Mitigation Education Specialist and Wildfire Trespass Coordinator. Our guest here on Elko Live today. I think we got everybody in. Thank you, listeners, for joining us for today's program. You can find this archived online at elkoradio.com.